danger beneath the beauty. I was 19. Summer was in full swing and vacation had finally come. My family and I packed our bags and headed for Estes Park, Colorado. The drive was long from Texas. There seemed no end to the flat countryside. Just when our patience had worn off, there lay mountains looming in the distance. Closer and closer they came until we were winding around and around them. Our cabin was nestled in a cozy spot right on the side of one of the mountains. Bags unpacked, the afternoon was spent gazing at the majestic views and a large elk herd only 100 yards from the cabin. The sight was perfect. What if we could get a better view? What if we climbed the side of the mountain and perched ourselves on the rocky outcrops to get the ultimate photo? It was just me and my younger cousin. On a whim, we started up the steep terrain. It doesn't look that far, we said to ourselves. The elk had moved from their spot above us, so we decided to investigate their bedding area. The jagged rocky outcrops were covered in loose gravel. We wanted to go further up, but this looked like a fun place to explore for the time being. Pretty soon we were jumping around from rock to rock, enjoying the mountain air. Suddenly my foot slipped. Down I tumbled head over heels. How was I falling so fast? It wasn't even a bad slip. As gravity pulled me down, the edge of one of the outcrops came quickly into view. Was I about to get seriously injured? The thought of dying flashed before my mind. I yelled for some reason. No actual words came out. Just the fright of the fall made all rational thinking fly out the window. I eventually ended up sprawled out, belly down, sliding to a couple of feet from the edge. There were plenty of scratches, but nothing broken. There was pain in my wrist and hip. My head had slightly tapped the rocks and slight dizziness occurred. I was okay. It was impossible to help me, so my cousin had anxiously looked on, unable to help, no doubt praying with all his might. All of this eternal spinning had happened in a matter of seconds. We rested on the rocks, breathing sighs of relief. We would later realize, back at the cabin, that resting here in the elk's bedding ground would invite an unhealthy amount of fleas to latch onto us. We decided to continue the trek. Higher and higher we climbed. Our lungs and legs burned with fatigue. The air got thinner and the terrain became more steep. Finally we reached the peak. A massive split in the rocks had left a 15-foot crevice which we had to cross over. Worried about overjumping and falling to our deaths, we cautiously climbed the rock. The view was surreal. The sun shined bright above the peaks. A perfect breeze stirred the forest below. The climb was worth every second. Looking down, we realized we had severely underestimated how far the outcrop was from the cabin. We rested again and took it all in. The trek down proved successful, although very slippery and with some close calls. The massive elk didn't happen to be in our way. No snakes that we could see were in the way either. All of this beauty, and yet one could meet their demise in seconds. This experience taught some lessons in underestimating the terrain and the wildlife. Be cautious is an understatement. You could go two ways from this story. On one hand, you could say taking risk is worth it. On the other hand, maybe just enjoy the views from the safety of the cabin and not be the idiot that almost fell off a cliff. Either way, get out there and have some fun adventures of your own.